Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing this April the 9th, 2025 daily cryptocurrency XRP gold and silver bullion update. Hit that bell notification, comment down below, subscribe and share to help spread and keep and continue the momentum in building the best cryptocurrency and gold and silver and investing channel on YouTube, and force truth, trust, education, and information to keep you prepared with that first mover advantage. Share it, bell notification, and comment down below. As we were talking with the crypto recent continued retracement to the downside, the U.S. stocks started to get really beaten down. The S&P and the NASDAQ were in correction territory, closing in on bear market territory, and the Dow Jones was deep in the correction territory because of the tariffs. Today, U.S. stocks surged, dollar gains, and dramatic relief rally as Trump pauses tariffs. Why? Because he was like, this maybe overplayed my hand. Let's take a softer approach on this and give a 90-day reprieve to try to have countries negotiate stuff out, because when the stock market gets hit and hit that bad, the biggest fall since the COVID correction, it makes you nervous because the tariffs weren't a good idea, at least in my opinion. When the things you're putting tariffs on, China, Europe, Japan, Mexico, Canada, you're buying the goods from them that you're putting the tariff on. So the people buying the goods are the ones that pay the tariff. Tariffs work if you're the manufacturing and exporting king of the world. We are definitely not that right now. We haven't been for 50 years, as long as I've been alive, and each year it gets worse. We are the import kings. We need to import everything, right? So that means the tariffs that we're putting on and levying, we're going to be the ones paying it. So Trump realized that. Stock index posted their biggest one-day gains in years. Come here. Come here. And, of course, the program director is talking again. Come here. Biggest one-day gain in years, with the S&P recording the largest rise since 2008, while the dollar gained and treasuries paired losses on Wednesday after U.S. President Trump declared a temporary U.S. pause on tariffs. The announcement by Trump came in the afternoon after days of market turmoil, with bond prices and the U.S. dollar selling off earlier in the day. Fears that the administration's plan to raise tariffs to levels last seen more than 100 years ago. And the big difference, 100 years ago, we were the export capital of the world and manufacturing capital of the world. We are a century later, it's been completely flipped, right? The president announced an immediate 90-day tariff pause for many countries, even as he raised the levy on Chinese imports to 125%. That's all good and well, and the market's pumping now because it's not in effect right now. And when he went to put them in effect, the market sold off and he caved. So the market knows that it's more bark than bite when it comes to the tariff. It's just going to be more of a headline news, felonious type deal. The news of a pause brought sudden relief to the market. The S&P 9.5% higher, the NASDAQ 12.25%, its biggest one-day gain since January 3rd, 2001, after the stock bubble popped, and its second biggest on record. This is the pivotal moment we've been waiting for, said Gina Belovin, president of Belovin Wealth Management Group in Boston. The timing couldn't be better, coinciding with the start of the earnings season. However, uncertainty looms, right? So we knew something was going to happen with that, and the reaction was the stock market was up, the gold market, briefly we'll look at that with crypto, was up across the board. Gold's back almost to 3,100. The stocks, the mining stocks that sold off, you can see 13%, 8, 9%, 10%, 12%. Rivian was up 9%. All the markets across the board were pumping. And now part of the truth, trust, education, and information, I still do not want to buy you, is we'll start with the Bitcoin price. And I'm sorry, I'm tired today. Got home late after working the second job after we got off the main job. The Bitcoin price came down to just about that 73,000 that we told you we were going to do. The bearish cross hasn't happened yet. We were saying there could be some kind of a rally off the 73,000, potentially as high as the overhead moving averages. And you can see the 100 days up there at 88,000. And we have gotten that pump based on the Trump news. And you can see now what we got to look at is this just a technical rally bounce. And you can see what happened. We came down, hit our underneath target, double bottomed. Now we've shot up, and that kind of looks like that turtle, right? Conveyor belt. And now what we got to watch is the follow-through volume tonight, tomorrow, to see if this is just another one of these pumps that are just off in a bear rally, a technical rally, using some news at the time that we're on major support, and then it rolls back over, and then it continues to the downside. So we're going to pay attention. This pump and the news coincided at that $73,000 level where we said there should be some kind of brief support before it starts to trade out and eventually breaches that. But we could trade into this for a minute. So it's going according to plan there. It held support where it should have held support. We're still going to have the bearish cross. The next couple of days, I would expect it to kind of chop sideways. It'll pump a little bit, then dump, and I expect it to hover below the falling 100-day moving average and just above or right on the $73,000 level. So this is going to be very critical to watch the next couple of days to see how this plays out. If we look at the XLM, had a very healthy rally off of a big dump down where you wick down to almost at 18 cents. And then we were saying yesterday, and look at this, we're having our golden bearish cross now. We're going to have that probably tonight while we're sleeping. You can see how close we are to having our golden bearish cross where the 50 is about to get below the 200. Yesterday, if we zoom in to the 3-hour time frame, we were talking about on this wick, this could be an area where we have a technical buyback where we come all the way back up into this major 25.5 cents and now potentially use it as major upper resistance. And then we dump down and actually touch the 18-cent level, which has been our underneath target before we should have seen some kind of a technical bounce because it's a major support level. And now we're going and trading back up into that. And that looks like, again, what's happening here is we're going to trade back up into this 25 overhead horizontal blue support and resistance level up here. And now it's going to use it as resistance. When back here, you can see it kept using it as support, support, support. Look at it, use it as support, support. Tried to hold it as support here, all within the last 45, 50 days. And finally, it broke below it. Now I'm thinking you're going to use it as support. And we're going to watch that carefully because I think the 18.5 cents, the 18.75 green line down here is your next major underneath target that I believe we should hit. The XRP, we talked about this too yesterday. It's been using the neckline as major support. Let's go back into the daily time frame and then we'll zoom in. We're in this head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern. You can see we dipped below and wicked down to $1.61 and then held held trading along the 200-day moving average is what we would expect. We're about to have the bearish cross where the 100-day, the 50 is going to get below the 100-day finally. But we were holding support along the 200-day moving average, which we thought we would in and around there. And then we said you would most likely have to back test what has been in the left shoulder support neckline on this purple support, support, support on the wick, support, support, support. We were saying after it broke below it, and this is the first mover truth, trust, education, and information. And the reason you guys become Jabroni Killer members, $3.99 a month in the pinned comment or the video description below to help support the #1 cryptocurrency influencer to help you get that education and truth with the information in a trustful, easy way. We said this should have to bounce back up into here and now back test this neckline as major upper resistance. It was holding it as support. Now you would expect it to come up here and use it as resistance and then continue down. So that's something we're going to watch. And it's something that already, if we zoom into the hour time frame, you can see exactly to where you wick to. It came right up to that neckline, and it's initially got rejected. And if that continues and it can't really sustain itself above that, when again it looks like that dinosaur or turtle pattern conveyor belt, and we know those are bullish initially, but bearish reversal patterns where they've often dropped down and then continued to the downside. But it's just kind of interesting that it did hit that neckline and it's getting rejected, an area that we thought it would on a back test now to confirm below the neckline, and that would bring you down to your next leg to the downside. But we're going to be paying attention to that over the next several days. AMP wick down to almost your major lower support in this falling channel that you've been in forever. It's still trying to break out of it. Eventually, it's got to pump to the upside, but not right now. The rest of these coins have just had the relief rallies. You can see H-bar hit the 15-cent technical target, broke below it, and now it's pumping up, and now it's trying to hold above it. And now what you're going to watch in H-bar is, does it hold this as support and then can continue to the upside towards the overhead moving averages in the daily, sitting at 19 cents and 20 cents for the 100-day, or is it going to not be able to hold this on the back test, right? And it's going to get back below it and start to trade down. So that's what we're going to look for in H-bar, XDC. Let's zoom out into the daily time frame. You can see XDC had its, let's delete this. XDC had its golden bearish cross a few days ago where the 50 has gotten below the 100. The 200-day is running parallel to slightly down. You can see XDC was in a head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern over here. We have our technical target down there at about 0.0421 cents. I still believe that's going to get hit. We're having a little bit of a rally. We could pump up as high as the falling overhead 100-day moving average before, I believe, the golden bearish cross will happen. And I still believe we're going to hit this technical target on XDC. So we're going to pay attention the next couple of days there. But I believe there should be a lot of buyers down there. And I think that's where there could be a great swing trade or an accumulation for people that like XDC. If we look at Algo, we dipped below and broke the 17.5 cents. Like the XRP and a few other coins, we're coming back up for a major retest. We're slightly on top of it now. And again, you need to see if you can hold this 17 cents. And then you could trade on and try to hit up near that 50-day moving average at 22 cents. But if you keep and can't hold this and you fall back below this and the volume falls down and you get rejected, you're going to come down quicker to that 10-cent target. But right now, the fight for Algo is kind of reclaim the 17 cents and try to hold a brief support level and maybe try to trade towards an overhead moving average? Or is it going to fail and not have enough fortitude and buyers and momentum to sustain this rally here from this latest pump? Like, subscribe, and share. I'll give you some updates tomorrow morning and then again the noon update, but I'm very tired. It's been a long day. Peace and love to my beautiful audience. The Rex Eyebrow J.